all the time.
I'll tell you, if you're a fan of imbeciles and idiots,
Yeah.
you're missing out if you're not watching Celebrity Love Island.
I watched about 30 seconds of it, and I hate them. Just desperate idiots and slappers. I actually angers me.
I switched on Celebrity Love Island. The first thing I thought is, where's a tsunami when you need one? but seriously, there's a guy on there. There's a guy on there, Paul. I think his name's Paul Danan, ex of Hollyoaks, and he's an absolute joy because, like Karl, he's an absolute simpleton.
Oh, really?
And it's fantastic. And he was on one week, and he was talking about how he fancied Lady Isabella Harvey.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, thing is, right, I really fancy her because she don't like reading books, and I don't like reading books.
I've got something in common.
But I love the idea that he's attracted to someone for something they don't do. You know?
Yeah.
I've never killed a kid. She's never killed a kid. We're going to get
What
married.
about sleep around? That would be a good thing to be attracted to someone for.
Unbelievable.
Just honestly, and Big Brother's the same.
Is it?
Just a load of ropey old
cats?
Yeah, I know. Just like a horrible, cellulite, wobbly, rice-arsed, fat-titted tarts and idiots and show-offs. And they all disgust me for a different reason. I don't know which one to hate most
I know.
and why. They all give me a couple of reasons to hate them.
That's what the nomination should be.
Yeah.
You know, nominate who do you hate the most? Because
Absolutely.
I thought I was going to switch on and find that actually, people like Abby Titmus and Rebecca Lewis had been misrepresented by the press.
Oh, well, the one that wanked off a pig in public? Oh, yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you say wonked off?
I said wonked off a pog.
Yeah.
Wonked off a pog. Yeah. That's great, isn't it?
But I mean,
it's amazing, Rebecca. I mean, don't even get me started on Abby Titmus. Don't even get me. Don't.
I like the idea of her parents perhaps going to some kind of someone's birthday or whatever, meeting some old friends who've been away living in another country.
Yeah.
How's young Abby? Is she still a nurse saving lives? No, she gets her tits out for a living now.
Aren't you funny? Yeah. Rebecca Lewis, by her own admission, I don't know if it's true, but she said she sleeps with a married man, then sold her story to papers, then wonked off a pog. Right? That's a hell of a CV, isn't it?
I'm looking forward to
that. Is amazing. I bet her nan's very, very proud of her.
Yeah.
Oh God, don't just forget it. Don't get me started. I'll be watching every night for the next 10 weeks. Yeah. You can't not. My adrenaline rushes. I hate, and you go. Oh God, I'll just tune in to see. It's almost like you tune in to see which one gets hurt.
Yeah,
that's the thing, isn't it?
Emotionally scarred.
But maybe one of them will come through. Well, we'll find out. We're always going to be We're going to find out that one of them was like had a really, really bad childhood, and we feel sorry for her for a little bit. Like the Jade Goody syndrome or something. And oh God, then they release an exercise video. Oh, Karl, we got to get in on this. Oh, imagine Karl in Big Brother.
That would be a joy.
That would be amazing. But you turned on and you hated it, didn't you?
Yeah, I gave it like 3 minutes and it's gone. There's always something better on though. You annoy me that you watch it. You moan about it now, but you watch
it. I know. Yeah, I know.
There's always something.
I really did not watch any of Celebrity Love. That was just too awful. I think the celebrities are worse than general public, though, to me, because if they're so desperate, they want 9 little bites of the cherry, and it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Or at least these people, they think that they're going to get out of their job they don't like, maybe, or it's sort of like I give them their 15 minutes, but it's God.
But there's always something. I mean, when we were out the other night, Steve, right, there's a programme on about a spider that's a foot long and eats chicken. No one's talking about it.
I don't understand. What do you mean? What do you mean?
No, well,
I'm sorry. I had to stand up because I thought I was going to explode. What do you mean there's a spider that's a foot long and eats chicken?
There was a programme on about it, about how there's this spider in the jungle or something, but I missed it because I was out, but no one's talking about that in the papers. To me, that's a worry.
That's about why? In case it nicks your Sunday roast. What do you mean?
But if it likes chicken now, Rick, in like 2 years' time, who knows what it might like.
I know, it move up the evolutionary ladder, it'll start liking Karl, then humans.
About the chicken bit, because I eat chicken, that isn't that shocking, but the fact it's a foot long, and no one's, it's just on a Thursday night, no one's talking about it.
What do you expect, though? What do you expect from this? It's got its own PR. What do you want? What do you want this spider to be famous? Where is it? Where is it?
It's in the jungle.
It's not worrying anyone then, is it? It's not going to move.
Well,
it's not
going to... though.
What do you mean?
What do you mean it's not going to move?
Well, how is it going to get here? Is it going to get on a bus?
There's ways and that, they come in bananas and all that. So, don't worry about it. So, I'm not, if you're going to be like that.
Anyway, listen, we better line up Babushka. We better play that surely, because I know you need to analyse those lyrics. That's very important to you, I know. We've still got that cork hitting.
Cork on their head's going to be great. We're going to put his little head down and really give it a firing.
Sponsored by Lindauer Sparkling Water. Refreshing as a liquid.
Did I tell you the time when the doctor said I was going to die?
Alright, keep talking.
Right, ages ago, must have been about 15, right? And at lunchtime there was this. We used to have a choice of stuff to do at lunchtime, right? We used to have like a burger place that had an arcade machine in it, right? So we used to go there and play on that and have a burger. Or there was this baker's, right, that my mum worked at, and did great cakes and stuff, right? So she used to like bring some home and that, but she couldn't always bring them home every night because, you know, they cost money, and she used to get them for free. And they used to say they'd rather chuck them away than give them to the staff because there's a chance that the cream might be off.
Right.
Right, so they used to chuck them round the back. So I used to go round the back with my mate and eat a load.
Brilliant. Scavengers eating out of bins.
No, it wasn't out of bins, they were still in trays, but they just stacked them up near the bins, right? So this got out, I mean, it used to be chocker. Once the school found out, everybody used to go there, and it'd be like, well, have a cake.
Headmaster fighting the kids off.
Right, so I'd have, you know, you just eat, I don't know, 6 jam donuts or something, and then you'd spend your dinner money on the arcade machine.
Brilliant.
Right? So it was a good afternoon, really, right? So you'd do that, and this one day I must have had 6 or 7 jam donuts, a few Congress tarts.
What's the Congress tart?
I love them. I can't get them in London, right? So I'd have some of them.
If anyone can get a Congress tart for Karl in London, please let him know.
So anyway, this day, that was just a normal day. Do you know what I mean? You'd once, twice a week, you'd have a load of cake.
In your life,
Yeah,
So
normal
anyway-
day in your life. Were the frog boys there with the webbed hands and the big heads?
So-
and the horse in the settee? Yeah.
But the day after one of these days, I had really bad cramp in my belly. Right? I was like in agony, could hardly walk. So I said to my mum,
You could hardly stagger to the free cakes.
So I was in absolute agony. I said, I don't like doctors, but you'll have to get a doctor in because I don't know what it is, I can't walk. She gets the doctor round, I won't say his name, but he said, well, doesn't look like he's got long left.
Blimey.
So I was a bit like, hang on a minute, I've only had a few cream donuts.
Yeah.
My mum was panicking.
Sure.
He went, my dad came in from work, she said, something's really bad with Karl, I think it's serious, you know, the doctor said he ain't got long left. So he said, what, he said that and just left? So he said, yeah. He said, I'll have to call him then. So he called him up, said, what's all this about? You know, Karl hasn't got long left, how long's he got? So he goes, I was only messing. He's just had some bad cream. Can you believe that?
Well, the thing is,
I like the fact your mum didn't ask any questions.
I know.
She didn't
But
go
she
into
doesn't-
details.
I-
Can you explain more, Doctor? No, I got a shoe off.
But she doesn't. She doesn't like talking.
you know, I don't want to diss you or your family, but I imagine if I was there, I'd have known the doctor was joking.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying. I mean, I sound very arrogant there, but I imagine he went, what's he been doing? I had about 6 cream donuts. Oh, right. Oh, wow. He hasn't got long to live then. I'll see you later. That's what I think the doctor did.
Yeah. I just love the idea your mum just let him go.
Yeah.
Terrified, thinking, well, I'm not going to probe him. He's that's it then.
Dad comes in. Hi, honey, I'm home. Anything happened? The doctor said Karl's going to die and then left. Night Cycle Club there. Spread your love on XFM 104.9. I'm loving this, Steve. It's a lovely day.
Yep.
But
We're playing some great music.
We're playing some great tunes, aren't we?
Absolutely.
We're having some great chat.
Yeah, yeah.
So let's carry on. Let's continue.
Well, absolutely. Well, obviously, Karl was out with me last night, and he saw that I'm, you know, he knows I'm a ladies' man, and that was obvious. Karl, you could see the vibe around me, couldn't you? When the chicks were talking to me. And just remembered recently, actually, I was on a train coming back from hometown Bristol, and I was on the train, and this girl walks on, good-looking girl. I thought, hey, up, largely empty carriage. I'm thinking, my luck's in, you know, because I take every opportunity, Karl. That's the thing about me, you know. I don't choose. She was a good-looking girl. She sat down. I thought she sat down right near me. I thought, brilliant. As this guy comes up behind her, and says, I think it's probably a boyfriend or something. Sits down next to her. And I listened in on the conversation, you know, because I'm pretending to read. It was very clever. I read the same page for hours, so I was pretending to listen. I was listening, but pretending to read. And I realised that it's not her boyfriend or anything, it's just some guy she's met on the platform. And And I'm thinking, brilliant, if she's the kind of girl who's just going to start talking to someone, you know, on a platform, on a train, brilliant, I'm going to be in here. Because he was only going one stop. So I'm thinking, what's the worst that can happen? He'll nick off, you know, I'll get chatting to her, you know, and who knows, I could join the... is there a train equivalent?
Foot High Club.
The Foot High Club, brilliant. And so I'm excited, you know, I'm listening in. And they're talking, it turns out that they're both kind of graduates who've just finished university, or they're coming to their finals or something. And they're chatting away, you know, and he's making a couple of witticisms, you know, and she's kind of tittering at his jokes. I'm thinking, well, I'll tell you this, if she's laughing at this kind of material, I am going to blow her away, you know, with my kind of anecdotes and wry observations, you know.
Yeah.
It was weak stuff, I gotta be honest.
Really?
He was coming out with nothing. He was running on empty, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
And she was loving it. So I'm thinking, brilliant, I'm going to be right in here. And then they get moving on to the higher brow things, you know, and I think she was going to study kind of Marxism or something like that, or communism, something. And she was asking him, you know, by way of conversation, she was asking him what he knew about Marxism, you know. And he was fumbling for his vague knowledge of it that he had in his life. And I'm just sat there thinking, yeah, come on, love, in any given capitalist environment, the proletariat will revolt against their oppression by the bourgeoisie, and after a brief period of socialist rule emerges a classist society governed by community cooperation.
Well, if that sort of talk wouldn't get a woman hot, I don't
Come
know.
on,
I don't
Rick.
know what you'd use then.
If Marx and Engels is not going to get a woman sweaty down below, then nothing is.
No.
Then my name is
You're
not
just
Steve
biding
Merchant.
your time.
Exactly. I'm just going to go in for the kill any minute.
Yeah.
So anyway, it comes to his stop, right? He gets up. I'm thinking, this is a piece of cake. And he gets off, and off he goes. He walks off. And I'm thinking, brilliant. And I thought, I'll wait. You know, I'll wait till the train's pulled away. I'm not going to leap in straight away.
No.
And he comes back along the carriage. And I'm thinking, hang on a minute. He goes, listen, do you mind if I give you my email address?
Oh.
Right? And if you want to get in touch, email me. I'm thinking, come on, you loser. Get off now. Save your face, please, before it's too embarrassing. She accepts the email address because she obviously doesn't want to hurt his feelings, whatever. I'm thinking, fair enough. She's a good woman. I'm liking her. I'm loving her. I'm thinking, that's my kind of girl. So anyway, he gets off. I'm sat there, the train pulls away. I'm thinking, yeah, I'll wait a few minutes, you know, I'll just, you know, give her some time. Her phone rings. It's her friend on the phone. And, she starts saying, and I was listening in, and she was going, yeah, just met a guy on the train. I'm thinking, yeah, that's true enough. She goes, yeah, he was a good-looking guy. I thought, you're having a laugh, love. To be honest. Because I was looking at him, and she said to her friend, he looks a bit like tennis player Boris Becker. I thought, you should be so lucky, frankly, because I saw him, he had awful facial hair, if that's what makes him look like Boris Becker. Terrible little goatee beard, it was laughable. I thought, I don't know, and then she goes to think, and she's like, yeah, I met him, we got chatting and stuff, you know, and she was going, it's not often that you meet someone, you know, generally in life, who's, you know, kind of thoughtful and intelligent and funny. I thought to myself, I'm not even going to waste my time with you, love. Frankly, if that's what you thought of him.
You just walked away.
And I'll be honest with you, I didn't even bother talking to her.
No, you were
I
just
didn't even
above
waste
it.
my time with
If
her.
she thinks that bloke is not
If
only
she thought he
great
was
looking,
funny,
but
great
funny
looking.
and intelligent, and she got on well, and he was polite, and it was a chance meeting, and he thought, and she thought that you were like a freaky looking dork who didn't even have the nerve to
If
speak.
that is what
if that's
she
what
was
she thinks,
thinking,
then
then I
she's
don't
not-
want to know her.
I couldn't. You walked away, and good luck to you.
And I have my dignity intact.
Yes, and she's nothing.
Can I just make a request? I'd quite like, if you've got time, to bring back, just for 1 week only, White Van Karl.
Sure.
Because there's some quite interesting topics this week.
Oh, there's things happening in the world.
There's some
Carl
things
doesn't think
happening.
there is.
No.
There is a light that never goes out.
Well, talking of which, it's a long time since we've had any White Van Karl. For those that don't remember this particular hot feature, we basically ask Karl some of the questions that are asked of a white van driver in the Sun. They always have this on Saturday afternoons. Anyway, here's the first one. They're not fascinating, Karl, but I'm just interested on your take, really.
Yeah.
What do you make of Cilla Black quitting Blind Date after her husband sent a message from beyond the grave? You familiar with this story?
I didn't know that. What's that?
She went to see a medium, and supposedly her husband passed on information through the medium, which was incredibly vague, but persuaded her to quit live on air.
Well, it's about time, isn't it? If even dead people are saying, enough's enough. But I'll tell you what, though, talking about ghosts and that, do you know how I'm into them?
Yeah.
Right? How weird do you think this is, right?
Well, it's not true. Before you say it, play a record.
No, go on.
Go on.
Right, it's this woman. I don't even know if it's ghost, really. It's just a bit weird.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
There's this woman, and she's not a woman, she's a kid.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
She's walking down, like, a street in her area. It's a nice day and everything. Everything's normal. She's walking down, and a woman comes up, cycling past, right? The woman on the bike looks at the kid, absolutely terrified, right? Got a really scary face on her.
Yeah.
The kid's thinking, why is she doing that?
Yeah.
Right? So anyway, she thinks nothing of it, goes, you know, I think she was playing in the park or whatever, goes and has a nice day. About 15 years later...
Oh, right, yeah.
She's, I don't know, I think she was going to work, right, on a bike.
She was riding her own bike.
Riding her own bike, cycling down the road.
Oh, yeah.
Looks at the kid. That's the thing that happened, like, 15, 20 years ago.
Right.
It's her on the bike looking at her as a kid.
Right. Not another child.
No. So it's her, she's seen herself.
Carl? I mean, I don't know where to start.
Firstly, where does this information come from?
But I mean, why do you ever? I mean, I don't know what part of that you think can be true. I mean, honest. I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. What are you talking about?
Bit weird, though, isn't it?
But it's not true.
It didn't happen. Nothing happened like that.
She said it did.
Well, she's wrong.
She said she saw herself.
She saw herself as a kid, didn't she?
Did she carry on
And
riding
as an
pup?
adult when she was a kid.
Did she stop and talk to herself, or did she ride on by and think that's a bit weird? There's me as an 8-year-old. I won't stop. I'll be late for work.
yeah. If I'm late again, the boss said he'd be in trouble.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well,
And where is this information? Did it happen to someone you know?
No,
You overheard it on the bus.
no, it was in the 14 Times.
Ah, right. Well,
Okay.
that's the answer.
Good,
We've
okay.
got to the bottom of that.
Right. Good. Brilliant.
Now, what do you make of David Blunkett accusing gangster rappers of making kids believe guns are cool? It's a hot topic there, Carl. I imagine you've got some strong opinions.
He's saying what?
He is saying, basically, that all this rap music is advocating gun use and violence against people, and he's very worried about it.
Nah.
Okay. All right. What's the next one?
Have you thought about going into politics? Because
better go.
I'll tell you this, they wouldn't be able to argue with you, really, in the Houses of Parliament. They'd have where would they start?
Yeah. My learned fellow is an idiot.
No, but violence has always been about, and like cowboys and Indians, they didn't have PlayStations and Tupac then, and there was still violence.
What do you mean? In the Wild West?
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So you can't really blame it on stuff. It'll always happen. That's, you know, that's the world, and it's made up of different types and that.
Again, he's right. Again, he's sort of right in a way, in his innocence, in his buffoonery.
I didn't hear what he said.
He just said there's always been violence. You know what I mean? It's sort
Even,
of like,
you know, dinosaurs, look at them. They cause a lot
and
of
then he
trouble.
went too far and made himself sound
No,
like a
but,
fool
but
again.
I'm just saying, it's always happened, it always will.
Yeah.
Don't try and change it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just chill out is what you're saying.
Do you know what we should do? We should all get on our bike, go and find ourselves when we're little, and go. Be careful what you do in life.
Carl, could we have some monkey news?
Well, just before we do monkey news, right, can I do a little psychological test on you?
On me?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's brilliant this, someone emailed it in.
Brilliant.
Right, little story with a question at the end,
Okay.
right? Right,
This is going to be so annoying.
no, it's not, honestly, it's,
Well, it is, because you're going to think it's science and it's going to be trite.
alright, well,
Go on.
right, little story first, right, there's this funeral, right, and this girl was at a funeral,
Same funeral?
yeah,
Right.
it was a mother's funeral.
Oh, yeah.
Right. She met this fella who she didn't know, right? But she thought this fellow who she met was amazing. She didn't know him, right? But she thought he was brilliant, right? Like a dream fella.
Right.
And she fell in love with him, right? But never asked for his number, his phone number,
Right.
And she couldn't find him. Now, a few days later, the girl killed her own sister, right?
Yes.
Question is, why did she do that?
Okay, well, it's one of those stupid things then, isn't it? So it's not logic. It's what am I thinking?
No, it's not. So it's a proper,
it's
proper
real
mental
logic.
test. It's a proper mental test.
A mental test. It is a bit mental.
So you understand the story, yeah?
I kind of. Let me just get it right. So there's a funeral. A girl goes to the funeral of her mother.
Yeah.
She meets the guy, or she
meets the guy at the funeral.
She meets the bloke.
He looks alright. I fancy a bit of that.
Right.
Has a chat with him,
Yeah.
but doesn't get his name, doesn't get a phone number or anything.
So cut a long story short, the things are asked, right? So the reason she kills her own sister, is this something to do with finding out something about the man she met?
Well, just answer the thing. Just why do?
Oh, okay then. I'll answer it then. She went mental. He was a spy called Derek. What do you mean? Just answer it.
Anyway, I'm testing Steve.
Right, well, she killed her own sister because her sister had stolen some money from her and was sleeping with her husband.
Is that it?
Well, I don't know, Carl.
It's an answer. It's an answer. What's the answer on the paper? So,
well, come on, what is...
Come on!
Well, the answer is...
No, an answer is...
that she was hoping that the guy would appear at the funeral again. He'd go to the funeral.
Right, that's not a proper psychological test. It's one of those stupid little shitty things. It's like a man goes into a field and dies. Why? His parachute didn't open. That's what I'm thinking.
I'm surprised you learned anything.
Oh,
Honest to God,
I love
I'm surprised you
Romeo
learned
and
anything.
Juliet. Oh, Juliet's a fish.
He said she was hoping that the guy would appear again at the funeral. If you answered this correctly, you think like a psychopath. This was a test by a famous fella, right, who used it on killers, and most of the killers got the answer right.
Did you also think that? Was that the answer you gave when you first read it?
I didn't know. But I wondered what you would have got.
Good, so that's proof I'm not a psychopath.
Yeah, but that's the point, but it's a psychological test for looking at something very, very specific.
What's up with that?
Well, what was the best that could happen? That he'd got it right, so he is a psychopath.
What annoys me is you're not happy with that test, but before you wasted 3 minutes trying to balance a pear on my head. What were you getting out of that?
Let's play a song and have some money. I once received, lucky me, the making of Thriller. It was a video behind the scenes on Thriller from Michael Jackson.
I know what he thinks though. But he thinks Steve loves to dance.
No, he went. You love music and you love films.
Yeah, no, and that's a film. Yeah.
But, I mean, I've never professed any interest. I mean, I don't think it even had Thriller, the actual film, on it. It was just the making of Thriller.
Really?
Behind the scenes, Michael Jackson dancing around.
And John
saying,
Landis.
Yeah, it was rubbish.
Well, that's not very nice, is it? But what did you say when you opened it? Brilliant.
Brilliant. I love Jackson. Can't wait to watch this. Can we watch it now, I said?
What did he say?
No.
He's so ungrateful, really.
Yeah.
Because I can't remember a time my dad bought me anything. It's always my mum who bought it, and my dad would give her the money.
Yeah.
You got Ricky who's lost his go-kart. You've had a video ball for you, and you're still not happy. I just think you're selfish.
It's not so much that I appreciate the fact that there is a gift. I think it's the fact that the gifts are arbitrary and can be bought in the shop that's opposite the place he works.
Tell Carl what you got your mum for this.
Well,
listen to this, Carl. You'll love this.
Right, it's the thought that counts, right? So I suppose if you say that the thought that counts is the fact that he went and got anything at all, that counts. Okay, fair enough. But he phoned me up. He said, "What shall I get your mother?" Right? It's our 20th wedding anniversary, right? What shall I get her? I said, "Well, I'll do this. This is a great idea I'd heard from somewhere else. Why not get her pay for her to have a makeover, you know, and all the sort of treatment, you know, and the beauty treatment and that. She'll love that, you know, and then take her out, give her a meal and stuff." He went, okay. So he hangs up. I speak to him on the day of my mum's birthday. I say, "What'd you get? He said, I got something." I said, "Do you go for the makeover idea?" He went, "Not exactly." I went, "What'd you do?" He went, "I bought her a trowel." A trowel. I went, "A trowel?" He went, "Yeah, for the garden." I went, "It's a trowel. You've been married 20 years and you got her a trowel." He went, "It's stainless steel." I said to him, "It's a trowel, Dad." And he went, "Do you think I should have got it engraved?" It is mental. And I went down to see them, right? And I went in the lounge and literally, imagine it, like she wasn't this, but imagine, I got in there, he'd bought this trowel, right? And he'd also bought her an industrial sized tin of coffee. You know those ones, those big size ones you have in like hotels.
Did he say she loves coffee, Steve?
She loves coffee, Steve.
I love the fact that that's meant to be like the whole family use it. Like she keeps that by her bed.
Yeah.
Like she's in Stalag 13 or something. This is my coffee.
So imagine walking into the lounge, right? She's there. She's got the presents that my sister's bought and that. A trowel, just holding a trowel and a tin of coffee. And me walking in wondering, I wonder if there's anything sort of that she regrets in her life. Mental.
Oh, that's lovely. She loves coffee, Steve.
She loves coffee, Steve.
Oh.
She loves the garden.
Carl, what's the worst present you've ever had?
You see, we don't really celebrate birthdays in our house, so...
What? Where are you from? What planet are you? What do you mean you don't celebrate birthdays?
Are you here from another world observing? Like, trying to blend in, but not quite managing to pull it off?
Not that fussed about it.
Right.
I mean, it's...
Yeah.
My mum and dad's are on the same day. And I think that just was like,
That's a bit weird, isn't it?
on their anniversary, and
Well, they got married on their mutual birthday.
But Carl, can I just... I mean,
and Christmas.
But Carl, there's a difference between you saying...
What do you
we
mean their
don't-
anniversary's on the same day? Of course it's on the same day.
yeah, and the birthday.
But Carl, what I mean is that you say that you don't really celebrate your birthday, but presumably you have received some presents at some point in your life from your parents or anyone.
Yeah.
Okay, well we'll come back to you later.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Let's play a record.
Carl, have a think about that and we'll come back to you later. Thanks very much.
50 Cent in the club on XFM 104.9. So, Carl's a little bit fed up today, actually whinging, I mean properly whinging, fed up, reckons he's tired, reckons he's overworked here. But, do you know what I mean, Carl? Everyone gets tired. Everyone gets tired. Everyone does the same sort of hours to you. What do you do, sort of 9 till 6, 7?
About 9 till 7, 8.
Well, no, because a couple of times this week I've sort of met you for a drink about 6. So, it's funny, isn't it? That's weird.
Some of the times I've come back after it, just for another 40 minutes or something whilst no one's around, try and get stuff done without phones going, without emails coming in.
Yeah, we got to do it.
Can I tell you what I think is a disappointment?
Yeah, there's
Is
a
that-
department. You got to do it.
I just think it's a disappointment that Carl hasn't been able to put that aside and rise to the occasion. He's only got to do this show once a week. It's
I
2
know.
hours.
It's-
I mean,
no
you and
one do
I,
it.
we're tired. We've
We've
got
got
busy lives.
you've got one job. We've got about 6, and we're still doing it. Do you know what I mean? We still do it. We still.
Well,
come
you're a
here.
professional, Rick. I mean, that's why you've won multiple awards, is because you're willing to get up there, even if you're feeling a little bit under the weather, even if you hurt yourself, you've got an injury of some kind, you're
Yeah.
out there, you're doing it. You're entertaining, you're providing
Yeah.
a service.
Yeah. So
It's a disappointment.
Yeah, but I've pressed all the right buttons at the right time.
Indeed.
Right? That's what I get paid for, yeah.
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 Done that, the adverts have gone out.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I've
Yeah.
made you cups of tea.
It's the negativity which is the problem. It's the vibe. You're bringing
bringing
the
us
room
down. Bringing us down.
and
bringing us
therefore
down.
the listeners.
Therefore, the listeners bringing us down. If you don't like London, you know what to do.
Oh,
Well,
I'm trying to get out of here, aren't I?
we just bought a new flat. That's not the best
Doesn't
way.
matter.
Buy a flat in Manchester, live there.
Doesn't matter, I can always
Yes.
rent it out and make a little bit of money.
Why don't you sell the flat in London and buy a street in Manchester?
Pilkington Avenue. You can literally be
Avenue,
the
yeah.
lord, the king of that street. people could come to you like Solomon with their problems.
Yeah. Well, he's come up from London. He's got London ways.
Now, interestingly, have you heard? Do you remember the famous King Solomon story that there are two women arguing over whose baby it is, and they present this to them. They say, "This is my baby." And the other one goes, "No, this is my baby."
So he knows one of them's lying, but he doesn't know which one.
And so what does he do? How does King Solomon solve that? How does he figure out whose baby is his? First, what would you
They're
do?
both white fellas, yeah?
Both what?
White fellas. Someone's
It's
at
women,
a,
two women.
right, it's two white women.
To be probably, they probably weren't, completely white.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, they're of the same ethnicity.
No, I'm just working
as
out,
is the baby.
right, alright then, so,
Yeah.
alright.
And don't think about what King Solomon would necessarily
Yeah,
do.
it wasn't
Think
that.
about
It
what
wasn't.
you
It
would do.
wasn't that easy. No, there's not one tall, skinny white one with big ears, and so's the baby. The other one's a little short Chinese bloke. It's two women for a start.
Yeah.
Two women. Okay. The baby to look at could be either. He doesn't know which, but he knows one of them's lying, obviously.
And is the one lying saying it's hers or saying it's not hers?
Right. Okay. This isn't worth it, Steve. I'm going to tell you what he said, and you tell me if you think it was good or not. He says, "Well, then what we do is." As king, he said, "What we do is, I'll take a sword, I'll cut the baby into two, and you can have half each." And one of the women says, "No, don't do that." And one of them says, "Yeah, that's fair."
Right.
Do you see?
So which one was it?
Sorry?
Who's-
Well, no, my guess is the one that didn't want it done probably was the mother of the child. The one that didn't mind having the baby cut in half probably wasn't a mother of the child. Why don't you think, you bald little mank twat? Play a record.
Well, I'm just, alright.
Although, it's not a very good solution.
No, that's
Because I think the woman who was lying could have come up with something better than, cut it in half. What she should have done is, I'll give it to the other one as well.
Yeah.
We're fantastic.
Go on then, back announce it, Carl. It's yours. Go on.
That's, Mark Bean Blade there, with a bootleg.
And what's it called? You called it something, haven't you? You cleverly called it something. What did you call it?
Nick this record one more time.
Good. Very good.
Karl Pilkington there, breaking all kinds of copyright rules.
Now, coming up, we're going to be talking a little bit of Feng Shui, the art of moving things around so it's better.
The ancient Oriental art of rearranging your living room.
Yeah, the ancient art of don't sit near a window.
Exactly.
Because you won't get any money for it. And we've got a book.
Well, we've been exploring Feng Shui for our amusement.
Yeah, and we're going to be reading some great things.
This is just good. It's good, solid Feng Shui advice for us.
I mean, what do you need to know? I mean, just keep those questions coming to us. If you've got any question for Karl, don't forget that's an ongoing thing. Anything in the world, any question, personal problems, philosophies, it can be out of the. Just ask Karl if you want. Just ask Karl. Okay. All right, Karl, you're up for that, aren't you?
Yeah.
And you give your honest opinion, won't you? Always.
Yep.
Yeah.
Should we give away donuters?
Oh, it's this. It's been won. Who's won it, Karl?
Scott Hammond.
Well done.
Well done, Scott.
He'll be loving that. He's probably going to have a party, especially to play donuters.
We've had a number of right answers, but I'm afraid Scott's the winner. And the question, of course, was which famous American comedian was heavily involved in the production of the film The Elephant Man? It was, of course, Mel Brooks.
Surprising.
And he's got a company called Brooks Film.
Our first person that called in, I think he was a bit confused. He said, "Is it testicles?"
Yeah.
When what? The producer went, testicles.
What was that illness years ago? Right, there was a couple of lads at our school
Oh, yeah.
had really big heads
Right.
and webbed fingers.
And webbed fingers.
And
Sorry, wait. Was that? Hold on. Did you find him in a pond? Did they used to be little tadpoles?
no,
Carl, you're not confusing your past with an old episode of
No,
Doctor
no.
Who, are you?
What were they called? These two?
I didn't mix with them.
Right.
It was just like.
Of course not.
There was nobody thought anything of it at school because
No,
like,
sure.
you used to it.
Yeah. It's the north.
There goes the creature from the Black Lagoon again.
yeah.
He
He's
is
late.
brilliant at trigonometry.
He's late for double maths.
Yeah.
But I didn't think anything of
What
it.
is it called? What is the disease called where two fellas... Are they...
Not even related.
Rubbish.
Not related.
Were you near a nuclear power station when you were growing up?
Yeah.
You weren't really?
Yeah.
God, this explains so much.
This has got
I
a bit
don't
heavy.
think that's it.
Hey, talking of enormous heads,
Yeah.
you were at the Pop Idol final, weren't you, Rick? You went
Yeah.
down there just because obviously Rick's a huge fan of Pop Idol. He wanted to be there. He wanted to give his support.
Quite seriously, there was no irony there. We were
Yeah, he
having
genuinely
great
is a
time.
fan of it. And he was. You sort of had photos taken with various people.
Yeah, of
didn't you? 'Cause
course.
you were a bit drunk and you wanted to have a memento of it. And it's obviously
Yeah.
a picture of you with Fat Man Rick Waller.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the best one is a picture of Ricky and his girlfriend with Dr. Fox.
Yeah.
Whose head
It's twice the size of
of
mine.
any other head. It's quite remarkable. I
He's
don't know how
like
they
a barrel.
look
He's a lovely bloke, and he was really nice to meet him and everything. But in the and he looks like an immaculate tan. And he's always happy, and he's he's.
It looks
really
on the
good.
picture, it looks like someone you might see in a carnival who's built a huge papier-mâché head. And it's just, we're like Frank Sidebottom, just sort of walking on the road. It's just incredible.
Dr. Fox didn't used to go to your school, did he? He used to hang around with a mate. They were great swimmers. They were brilliant swimmers. Oh, God.
Have we got another song lined up?
Yeah, what are we going to play?
Bit of Pharomonge.
Bit of who?
Pharomonge.
Let's hear it.
Missy Elliott, Gossip Folks on XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. Now, I know we're not meant to mention the adverts, and I'm not slagging off the advert. It's that National Lottery advert with the little Welsh fella saying your money from the National Lottery goes towards Mountain Rescue. We put it out there, we've saved a lot of people. Now, that's fine, that's great, well done. What I'm annoyed at is why those people are allowed to go up the mountain in the first place.
Yeah.
Don't go up there, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
You're at your own risk.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
It's ridiculous. Just posh, beardy twats climbing mountains and sticking a flag up there. Why climb? I don't want you to. I don't want you to.
Am I paying, is there any point, Rick, where I am paying for people to get rescued from mountains?
I'm not sure. I think the lottery's doing it now.
Fine, because I'll
But-
tell you, if it was my money, I would be living.
Well, that's the point, isn't it? I mean...
you should have to take out insurance if you want to climb up a mountain.
You should pay for it.
Yeah.
If we save you, it'll cost a lot of money. You owe you. I'll be paying it back for the rest of your life. That's the risk.
Yeah.
Not falling to your death.
Exactly.
But never being able to pay it. They're all posh and rich anyway.
Yeah.
But it's just like a cat gets stuck up a tree and the farmer come out because he doesn't know any better. Imagine if that was a bloke. I'm stuck up again. Stop going up there.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying again, though. It's only a cat, so leave it up there. Get another one.
And there's the skeleton of Tiddles. I couldn't be bothered to go and get a ladder.
No, but it's the same. A few weeks ago, everyone was making a fuss over that sheep. That was the first cloned sheep. and it died, clone another one.
Oh, wow.
If only you could do the same with mountaineers.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks
Or,
the same. The beard's the same. They all look like Brian Blessed.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
So I ever tell you about the time that my father, when I was younger, we went on holiday, my dad he bought a little boat. Little sort of wooden boat, make a 3-seater, and he and a friend of his went out with me in the boat. I was maybe 12 or 13. Went out, and we sort of so I think we were we had the little motor, outboard motor, chugging out. We just thought we thought this was real seafaring stuff.
Brilliant.
We'd lost sight of the beach because we'd gone round a corner of like a mountain, or like a like a cliff, and so we were just round the corner, and there was this buoy just floating in the water, not a boy, but like a buoy, and very tricky to explain that on the radio. It's the same word, isn't it? Buoy, a buoy, and a buoy.
Yeah.
And so we float past that and we're just chugging along. The motor conks out. Oh, I can't believe it. We have to row back in. So they're rowing away, I'm just sat there. And we noticed that every time we sort of think we've got past this buoy, it just seems to be back where it started again. And we realised that the tide is taking us but not taking us out, taking us towards these rocks. And we've got ravaged rocks. And we were a bit pretty scared, because I can't swim very well, or I couldn't at the time. I think my dad had maybe bought, he didn't, I'll be honest with you, I inherited a lot of things from him, one of which was his carefulness with money. just the one life jacket.
How deep was the water?
Which I seem to remember he tore off my back and put on himself. So the water's pretty down. I'm not saying we would have necessarily died, but it was pretty scary, because the boat, we were going to crash into these rocks and stuff. It was getting pretty unnerving. And so they're sort of rowing like mad, trying to we're just not making any progress, and we're beginning to think that this might be the end. And this boat, this kind of ferry boat, comes chugging by doing tours, ching, 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 ching. And it comes by, and my dad goes, oh, wow. We were going, brilliant, they can help us. They'll throw us a rope, they'll tow us back in. He was going, you've got to be careful, though, hang on, because according to the laws of the sea, if he rescues us, Steve, he can claim my boat. The laws of the sea mean he can claim my boat as salvage.
I love the idea of
that's like a reward.
Doing that.
But
The laws of the sea.
what I like is, his 12-year-old son might die, he's thinking about the boat.
I know, but also, the other thing, of course, is that I like the idea of this ferry master going,
Yeah.
the boat be mine now, or take your son.
Yeah.
Let me think about it.
I need a new bed. That'll be just right. King size.
Oh dear, that's lovely.
Chimpanzee, that monkey!
There was this airline, and it's having a lot of problems, and a lot of
Pilot's too tall?
Yeah, the cabin was so tiny.
Only bananas were allowed in the cockpit for fuel.
Anyway, there was a lot of strikes going on, right?
Sure.
Because I don't know what it was about. It was over money or whatever.
Yes.
And
Well, get someone that doesn't need money.
yeah, but
Well,
But what else could you pay something in,
Well,
Rick? I mean, everyone
peanuts.
would... So, okay, peanuts or fruit, yeah.
so anyway, the boss of the airline, he had like one pilot who he could trust, right? And that was his son.
Right.
But the problem is with a lot of these planes, you need two pilots.
Of course you do.
And he's like, if only I had two sons, but he didn't. There's no point harping on about it. Right?
Sure.
He runs an airline.
He runs an airline, yeah.
But how many pilots are there? Because there must be loads.
No, there's loads, but the problem is a lot of them are going on strike.
Ah.
And each week you can see that we're struggling here.
But how can they get... But it was just the pilots that were striking, was it?
Yeah, the pilots were striking, yeah.
So all the ground staff and luggage handlers and all that was okay in the cab?
They were fine, it's just pilots were not happy with the deal and what have you.
Yeah. Well, just close it down.
No
Anyway,
way, you can't do that,
no,
Rick.
I can't.
Of course you can't.
It's costing him a fortune if he closes it down.
Yeah, but what, one plane's not going to make a difference in an airline, is it?
No, it's all the
It's all the
planes.
planes, mate.
Yeah, I know, exactly. So if he's only got one person he can trust, knock it on the head.
No. What's the point? You've got to keep going. You can't just nip stuff in the bud like that. If you got a dream, keep it alive.
I know, but not with one plane and your son.
So anyway,
I don't know.
Well, but that's the least of his problems, Rick, because he's got his son who's a brilliant pilot, he's the only guy he can trust, but it takes two people to fly.
Well, you can't fly then.
so the son, he's flying the planes and that. He's getting worried for his dad because of his business. It's falling
Sure.
apart. He's like, anyway, listen.
Well, one plane won't make any difference.
Don't worry about it. We've found someone who you can work with.
Okay.
And he's like, but I get past the picket line because, they know I'm your son anyway and they'll leave me alone. But any other pilot, they're going to start giving him grief.
They're tearing him to shreds, yeah.
He said, don't worry about it.
Unless he could swing over the heads of all the strikers.
He said he's staying over near the sort of quarantine area where all the animals are kept
Oh,
and
yeah,
stuff.
right, okay.
They won't be looking in there. They won't bother.
No.
So he's like, all right.
There's no animal that could be a co-pilot, that's why.
I'll see you. He'll meet up with you in the cockpit. I'm like,
He'll be over in the cockpit, yeah, sure.
So anyway, he gets in there, he meets them. At first, a little bit of a shock who he's going to be working with, but
Why?
he's thinking, as long as I can keep my dad's business alive, I can
Not with
keep a
one
job.
plane.
Not
so,
with one plane.
Anyway, what happens is the strike's going on. He's flying. He's got his mate with him flying, helping out.
Who's his mate? What's his mate's name?
The flights are brilliant, right? Everybody's loving them. They can't believe how smooth they are.
Sure.
You know, the shares are going through the roof. Everybody's like, wanting to fly.
This one plane they've got.
That wouldn't make any difference.
Everyone's saying, you know, it's only a small plane, but it's worth getting on there.
And it's a small plane as well.
Because it's a great experience.
Gone under, I'd have thought. There's no way they can keep that alive.
Apparently they can.
So they're keeping this plane up in the air and what have you, and everybody's you know booking the holidays. It's almost like the favourite bit of the holiday. They're loving the flights that much.
Why?
Because it's really good flight.
I don't understand what difference.
Apparently it's a great flight.
It makes.
So anyway,
what difference it makes.
Everyone's happy. Then one day, what happens is a little bit of a problem.
Oh dear. You're not going to tell us that sort of co-pilot Coco he's not able to make it to work, is he?
Well, what happened is one woman who was on the plane got a bit peckish,
Right.
and said to the air hostess woman, said, "I'm a little bit peckish. Have you got any sort of nibbles and that?" She went, "No, I got a sandwich." She said, "I don't really want a sandwich. You want some, you know, like the usual stuff that planes give out, just like a bag of nuts or something."
What, have they not given those out yet?
So no, they don't give it for some reason. She was like, "Look, we've stopped giving out the nuts. We can get you a sandwich." And the woman's like, "I don't want a sandwich. I just want some nuts." Do you know what I mean? A sandwich is quite a big meal and what have you. I just want some nibbles, some nuts.
Well, that's not available. Done. End of story.
Can't get your nuts. She said, "Well, why aren't there any nuts?" She said, "Well, you know, the airlines had problems and stuff, and maybe that was one of the cutbacks. We've never took the nuts back on."
Yeah, sure.
So she wouldn't just leave it. She wanted the nuts, right? She's having a lovely flight and everything. She said, "I cannot complain about the flight. The flight is brilliant."
Whoever's up there flying this plane is doing a dynamite
doing
job.
a great job, but I need some nuts.
Right.
Anyway, so the woman
There aren't any.
Very demanding woman.
There aren't any.
It's a very demanding woman.
There aren't any.
Look, she's paid big money, right? She's probably in first class. She wants nuts. She's going to get nuts.
There aren't any. Leave it.
If she has to force her way into the cabin to get nuts, she's going to get nuts.
Well, she can't go there because she'll be shot. Because
So-
with security problems and that, there's no way she could ever go to the cockpit. That would never happen.
So she said, "Well, you're saying there aren't any nuts." She said, "But earlier I saw you put a tray outside the cockpit, right? It had a sandwich on it, 2 Cokes and 2 bags of nuts."
Right.
She said, "So you're saying there aren't any, but the pilot's getting..."
Well, aren't any now? That was the last 2 packets. Done.
No. So
Let's go home.
So she's going, "You can't have any."
We know, we understand now there's a dispute over
So
nuts.
she said, "Well, I'll go and have a word with the pilot myself because you only put them out there a few minutes ago. He can't have eaten them yet. I want some.
You
I'm
cannot
going
go.
over."
No.
I know, this is it. She was saying you cannot go over. She's going, "Listen,
Yeah.
I'm going to go over because I feel like
you
I'm being
can't.
lied to."
No, you can't.
So she goes,
No, there's
and
no
the
way.
pilot can
Well, they
hear all
can't get
this
in anyway.
chat about the nuts and what have you, and he's thinking, "What's going on out there?"
Yeah.
He opens the door.
Yeah.
Right? She gets a glance in. Little monkey sat there with headphones.
Fucking bollocks.
There's a star. Ash.
Good.
It's a great show so far, isn't it?
Enjoying it, Rick, but I'll tell you this, what worries me is something we've not done, which is what we've not taken on board some stuff I've heard from the management. They've said they've enjoyed the kind of light-hearted flippery, in the past on the show, and, the likes of Jonathan Ross getting their knobs out.
Yeah.
But they just feel that sometimes it's a little bit cheap. Rick,
No,
a little
in
bit
what-
crass, and they
in
just
what
want us to
way?
perhaps be a little bit more highbrow at times, a little
Well,
bit
look
more
at that, 'cause I mean-
thoughtful. Well, you're a smart guy.
I am, yeah. I've proved that with Clugs having 4 noses at Stephen's Tower.
Can I ask you, Rick, about politics?
What do you want to know? Because
Politics.
I'm a political person.
I thought as much.
Go on.
What on the politics? What do you make of who to vote for?
Vote for the government, whoever's in the government.
Yeah.
That's
The
it.
Liberals ever?
No, not if they're not in government. No,
Okay. What about the foot and mouth, which a lot of people are worried about?
Don't worry about it.
No?
No.
Recession is hit, and a lot of people are losing their jobs. What should they do about
Get
it?
another one.
Get another job?
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, this is, I mean, you can have this for free. If you do lose your job or something, get another one, but get one that's even better than the one you lost.
Right. Okay, good advice.
Yeah.
Maybe if you were just like kind of the post boy before, like Carl.
Get in charge of the company, get a manager's job.
Right, become director general or something.
More money.
Good.
And don't lose that one.
Okay. And what else is concerning people? No, we get calls all the time, Rick, to the station. People saying, "I'm worried about the war in Afghanistan."
Yeah.
What do you make of the war? Is it one of your favourites?
Well, what? No. My favourite. All war's bad. My favourite.
I'm putting you on the spot here. What is your favourite?
Falklands.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Is it? The Falklands War?
It was a range war.
What does that
Do you
mean?
know what that means, Carl?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember drawing pictures at school and that.
Yeah, it means that our missiles could go sort of 17 kilometres, and the Archers only had missiles that go like 9 kilometres. So we just parked our boats about 12, 13 kilometres off it, and we were shelling them. Shelling it out of there, right? And theirs were falling in the water.
Yeah.
So it's the war equivalent of holding a midget at arm's length.
Right, and he's trying to punch you.
And he can't reach, and you're just kicking him in the balls at will. That was,
Rick, a lot of people talk about WW1 as being the Great War. Was it a Great War for you?
No, it was a good war. It wasn't a great war.
Right. What's the problem?
Well,
for you?
I liked the bayonets and the trenches and all that stuff, but I could have done without the poetry.
Right.
Only because the poetry's a little bit bent. And what I'm saying is the only time that it isn't bent in a war. But there's beautiful. But there's one now I remember. It was we are the dead. Once we lived, felt dawn on our face, but now we lie in Flanders fields. Be honest, if you'd have had a gun in your hand instead of a pen,
yeah,
you might be alive today.
Be dead,
and the war would have been over by Christmas.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, high five.
Yeah.
Oh,
so that's
losers.
Politics, Carl.
Any other questions, Carl? You want to solve any high
economics? I've done economics.
Because yes, the economical.
Anything else?
I just think you should look after yourself. You know what I mean?
Oh, I've just got something to say to you. Hip hop, hooray!
Hey.
Let's play my hip hop track.
Whoa! Hey!
Put your hands in the air.
Yay.
Move them round like you just don't care.
Yeah, you're not even bothered.
I'm playing an old school track this week, Rick. I'm going
Excellent.
back in time, rewinding the clock.
How are you spelling school, Steve?
Oh, with a K.
Go on.
Ever heard of anything by Digital Underground? The Humpty Dance, you might
The
remember.
Humpty Dance.
Do you remember that?
That was a fellow sat on the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was getting dissed by the police, and he fell, and he broke all up, and the King's horses shouldn't have really been sent to repair an egg. They couldn't do it because of their hooves.
Anyway, Digital Underground, for those that don't remember, was an Oakland group led by Shock G and Chopmaster J.
Go on.
But of course, most famous now for the fact that they featured Tupac Shakur.
Love him.
Where he first began. You'll hear him on this track. It's called, which one have I chosen here? I think it's called The Same Song. Have a listen. Ross was slagging off the hip-hop feature, wasn't he, when he came in earlier? And how can you not like that? Digital Underground, same song.
I think he was scared of it, Steve. I think he was intimidated
Doesn't understand it.
by your youth.
Well, he's scared of the youth. He's scared of the fact that I'm down with it, the homers and the bitches and the hoes.
Yeah.
Because he's not with that,
I
you know?
think
He looks dapper. If they saw him in the street walking down like a ponce, they'd just laugh and jeer. But
Yeah.
probably rhythmically.
Yeah.
You know, and he couldn't come back at anything.
And you'd be high-fiving and
Oh,
everything.
they'd be loving
you.
me.
I think he was intimidated by your style. I think he's jealous of you, to be honest.
Do you know, I think what he's probably most jealous of is the looks.
Yeah, I think
Do you know what I mean? I got the new haircut because we might be on the telly later.
He didn't mention that, did he?
Did he? Well, he's never seen the old one. You've kept him from me. He's got nothing to compare it with.
But that was a great hip-hop selection there.
Yeah, lovely.
Even
lovely.
though I say so yourself.
Rick, we've had a couple of people, because they've listened to your dissection of current politics and economicals.
Yeah.
And they've got a couple of questions for you.
Go on.
We've had one from Jimmy Ruffin. He says, what becomes of the broken-hearted?
Oh dear. That is a difficult one. I don't think I've got time to go into it because it's a very delicate problem.
Can you answer this one from the KLF? What time is love? Any ideas? Listen, keep those questions coming in for Ricky Gervais. Maybe we'll to sort them out later. Have we got a song to play, Carl? Let's whack it
dear.
on. Still to come, the song. Blockbusters, please.
Do you want to look at the prizes?
I'll have a look at the prizes, see what people can win. It's an email-only competition, please remember that. All right, we've got the Later with Jules Holland Louder DVD. There's stuff on there from the Cardigans, Rollins is on there, Mercury Rev, Sonic Youth, the Datsuns, Queens of Stone Age.
No, wait a minute. They're all great bands, but I think they need a boogie-woogie piano at the top of everything they do.
Well, hopefully Jules Holland would have
Okay,
helped.
good,
Yeah.
good. Because there was something missing there on most of those tunes.
Yeah, current album from Goldfrapp, that's there as well. What have we got this on DVD? The Life of Mammals, the complete series of that. A couple of we've got the Inspiral Carpets, again a 3 CD set of the best of the Inspiral Carpets. I don't know how they strung it over 3 CDs. And the best one-hit wonders in the world ever. And let me see.
Oh dear, a 3 CD set.
3 CD
the
set.
best of Inspiral. I'm struggling.
I'm assuming CD3 is just the Corals album. Anyway, there's some good tweets there. You've sourced some good stuff this week.
All right. Well.
All right. Yeah.
Here's your clues,
Here's your Rockbusters. Yeah. Right.
Cryptic clue,
Wow.
couple of initials, and you sort that out. Right. First
What
one.
was Dr. Fox on about that we don't sound like proper presenters?
Isn't it?
It's mad. Go on, Carl.
Right. The first one. A customer wanted some paint to darken up a room. Shop assistant knew what to do. Right. Customer wanted some paint to darken up a room. The shop assistant knew what to do. The initials there, CB. right?
CB
for the first one there, right? Second one, it'd be alright if their heads weren't that big, right?
And again?
It would be alright if their heads weren't that big, and that's SF. Right.
SF?
Yeah. And the last one...
I know that one. Yeah, go on.
And the last one, Chanel have got another perfume out, N-O, right? Chanel have got another perfume out, N-O. You email in, ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. That's that done.
And those prizes can be yours.
Yeah.
Just checking some of the answers, Rick, and it seems that an awful lot of people have got it right.
Go on then. Tell us them again then. Remind us of them before you give us the answers.
Alright, Rockbusters number 1 was like this. It was a
We're
customer...
stopping monkey news, by the way, until you start getting some credible ones. Because that's it's ridiculous. It's not true.
No, it seems mad.
But no, it's from the internet again. So anyone can go online, download that story. It's insubstantial. It's get ones from journals or where the source is quoted. Okay, or we're not interested. Or we're not. Well, you don't. Okay. So same with on thin ice. We've pulled this once. We've pulled Rockbusters. We suspended it once, and you came back again. So it's. Do you know what I mean? So go on then.
Right, so Rockbusters number 1 was about a customer who wanted some paint. Wanted to darken up a room. The shop assistant knew what to do. What did she do? The initials were CB. Cellar Black. Right? Cellar Black. Sell her some black
See, I
paint.
thought Cilla Black, because it's CB, and I thought, well, it can't be, because it's not Cellar. It's not Sell Her Black.
Cryptic though, isn't it?
No, cryptic doesn't mean it's wrong.
They all got it. They all got it anyway, so... It's a bit weird, isn't it? Second one. It would be alright if their heads weren't that big. Right? The initials are SF.
Well, one of my favourite bands, yeah. The Smaller Faces, isn't it?
Small Faces.
Well, no, that doesn't make sense. Okay, go on then.
And the final one, Chanel have got another perfume out. Right.
I'll just say, we've had an email from one of our listeners who said, if this turns out to be New Order, he's never listening to XFM again.
What's the clue again?
Chanel have got another perfume out. New odour.
Right, well that's another listener gone.
What do you mean? There's not a group called New Odour.
No, it's cryptic.
It's not, that doesn't mean cryptic! Wrong doesn't mean cryptic. It's like saying what animal I'm thinking of. Frog. That doesn't mean cryptic. Sell Her Black. What artist is that? Small Faces works. Just about.
If I say what animal I'm thinking of, what am I
Monkey.
thinking? Well, there you go then. So it does work.
Play a record.
Right?
Play a record.
So who's a winner?
Ah, yes. Now I'm going to give it to someone who emailed in with the correct answer, and his name is Steve Martin.
Really?
And I'm giving it to, I don't know if you've noticed over the last few weeks, I've been giving the prize to people with just a kooky element to them, you know, if they've got
people to
an
start
amusing name.
sending their name in, like Barry Bumpfroyd.
Well, don't worry, because I can spot if it's a fake comedy name.
What was that last one we laughed at?
I can't remember what it was. I think it was Gerald something.
Yeah, it was. It was just like Gerald Smethurst or something.
What's it? Preston?
Gerald Preston. Why is that a funny name?
Jerry Preston, a great guy, but for some
Gerald
reason
Preston, we laughed at that.
he caught my attention. So this week, Steve Martin's caught my attention.
Right.